Yo, Lord Willin, Jeff Canarsie, Mob Talk Radio. Check it out. Yo, we stay quiet like Russell Buffalino when things will get ugly like Pepsi's death in Casino. Who do we know? No one, nobody. But we're all well respected like Della Croce and Gotti. I know wild nights, Havana nocturne. Light up a cigar and watch your spot burn. You'll get patty whacked, I'm tough like Irish dock workers. Run with guys, hooligans and block lurkers. Corner berserkers, street savvy soldiers. You owe, you better pay. Don't make me say I told you. Code you don't betray, I say what I mean. Providence and Brooklyn all the way to the Bean. I'd rather be unseen, like Vinny the Chin. I don't gotta go to Vegas to see cities of sin. Pull the pin, drop bombs like Danny Green. I'm right homicide like the murder machine. Lansky Luciano, mastermind the racket. Up in the clam house with a million in my jacket. Move around when the streets get darker. Pay homage to real bosses like Gambino and Patriarcha. Mob talking, but you don't talk to the mob. Lord Will and Jeff Canarsie, we stay on our job. This is Mob Talk, straight from the streets. Mob Talk, the life over beats. Lord Will and Jeff Canarsie, bringing you the rail. Kill all rats, you already know the deal. This is Mob Talk.
And now it's time for Mob Talk Radio with your host, Jeff Canarsie.
And welcome to Mob Talk Radio. If you are unfamiliar with me, boy, am I going to make a fucking impression tonight. If you can hear me, there's a lot of people in the chat. If you can do me a solid, please press the number 1 if you can actually hear my voice. And then I'm going to say hello to everybody. Then I'm going to talk about something. And then it's pretty much going to be open forum for the most part tonight. So once I start seeing some number, okay, everybody can hear me. That is good. Hello, Joy. I always see Joy first. I don't know why. I guess that's just how it works. All right, I'm going to go through the chat really quick. I am going to drop the link at some point for anybody that wants to come on. B. Gagliano, Anthony, Terrell, how are you? Mark, how are you? Pat, what's shaking? Barry, it was a tight game today. I didn't think my Eagles were gonna cover it. My pal Tommy Stiggs, how you doing, Tommy? Carol is here. Gerard. Jack is here. SPK. Let's see. Patty. I'm not a mobster, but okay. Let's see. Carol. What's shaking? If you do have a wrench and anybody gets out of control, just throw them out. We just have a zero tolerance policy over here for that. CJ, what's shaking? Cinnamon. Oh, Tommy Stiggs is sending people in. Gotcha. Hey, what's up, Tony? How are you? Charles Purcell. Joy. I'm doing good, Joy. I hope you're well. Mike F. What's shaking? Well, I'm going to talk a little bit about Tommy for the first couple of minutes, and I'm probably going to start screaming, not at Tommy, but just about something else in general. Dave from the Laborers Union. Good to see the labor union represented tonight. If I skipped you, I didn't mean to. Everybody's watching from Tommy Stiggs. That's awesome. Don with Shaken. Kelly, how are you? I'm going to scroll down. Kelly, I think I said, yeah, I did say Kelly. Stacy, how are you? Barry's in here. CJ, KXTA, Frank Ferraro, Brian, Jim, Jared O'Neill is in the house. Mikey Beef, Dan Evans, Jason, Mark, No Red, Rebecca. Good Lord, there's a lot of different people in here. Let's see. B-Dog. Yeah, this is live. Hello, B-Dog. See that? That's live. Watch. I'll do 2. Oh, it's live. Eddie. Steady Eddie with Shaking, my friend. God bless you. I hope everything is going well. A lot of you may not know who Eddie is. Eddie is a punk rock legend in the world. Seriously. If you've ever heard of the band Leeway, Eddie is the front man to that. He's a famous guy. He's fighting the battle of his life. I love Eddie. Eddie's a great guy. He's a fucking legend. Changed the way punk rock is heard. He's a prolific songwriter. Just a hell of a front man. And I love Eddie. Eddie's a great guy. He's a New Yorker. Just like all of us. Arlene, how are you? So if you've never heard of Leeway, go on YouTube and type in Leeway. Listen to their stuff. Eddie's on Instagram as well. Eddie is having the fight of his life right now. And we wish Eddie just nothing but the best. Eddie, if you need anything, I mean anything at all, my friend. All you got to do is ask. Whatever you need. Uh-oh. Dun, dun, dun. Elio Fortuna is in the house. All right. Let me just... Zach, hello. There's a lot of people in here. My God, 104. I can't keep up. Okay. So, Vinny Chicken Cutlets. Is somebody in here named Vinny Chicken Cutlets? Wow, that's a good name. That's a good name. All right. So, tonight's format is really going to be open forum. We'll answer any questions that are like historical. I really don't talk about current events. I leave that up to a lot of other people, but there are a couple of things I want to talk about tonight. It may ruffle some feathers, and I don't give a fuck. That's just how I see things. So the first thing I want to do, and if you see me looking over this way, it's because I wrote this down, and I got to push this over on my screen so I can actually see it. I wanted to take just a minute to thank Tommy Stiggs. Okay. I don't have a lot of time in the world to check out everybody's shows. I pop into chat and say, hello, how you doing? And then I get lost. That's typically what I do. But somebody told me today, go over and listen to what Tommy Stiggs said. And he had a lot of nice things to say about me, which I'm really not used to that, to be honest with you, because I know I'm not for everybody, right? But he did say some nice things, and I really do appreciate that, Tommy. Like from the bottom of my heart, I appreciate it. And Tommy is a lot like me. You guys may not understand this, but we know the same people. We have the same friends. And so we understand each other on a certain level that you cannot fake, you cannot invent or pretend to be. Okay. So when people do talk about me, or seem to like me, people get jumped on because of that. And recently another content creator jumped and started picking on Tommy because he's jealous because Tommy and I have the same friend. And I think we all know who we're talking about. And I've said it once and I'll say it again. I know XYZ. Tommy knows XYZ. We don't see this as celebrity status bullshit. Oh, it's neighborhood guys. We don't see it as a celebrity thing. It's our friend. X is our friend. Z is our friend. Our friend is this guy. Our friend is that guy. We don't need to inflate who we are. And it doesn't make us special or bigger or nothing of the sort. However, with many content creators who have never been around this sort of lifestyle, brag about informants because that is the closest that they're ever going to get to a lifestyle. Okay. Some did and learned the hard way about platforming informants. Okay. And that's duly noted. And those are just facts. But I cannot stress enough, who you know does not amplify your fucking status at all. It only amplifies your status in your own brain and your own mind. And it's called name dropping. Okay, that's what a lot of people like to do. And the biggest fakes and the frauds will brag about rats and befriend them because they believe it gives them credibility. And believe me, what other purpose is there for you to even platform a fucking rat? Name me another reason why anybody would do that. It's the reality of the situation, and I understand it. You know, interesting guests equal views. But at the same time, there's another reason for why they do this. And I think we all know what it is. And I'm not going to disparage anybody who does that. That's your choice. But there's credibility and there's accountability. Credibility is staying true to yourself. Nobody can tell you or say whether you're being true to yourself or not. Only you know the actuality of that. Being credible in this genre means you take a stand and you stick to that stance. But at the same time, just as people have allowed you to grow and change your mind on things, you must allow other people to do that. However, what the difference is, when you see people one day have a positive stance on this or that, then they'll have a personal beef with somebody, and then all of a sudden the narrative changes. And as the old saying goes, principles before personalities. And that's about as accurate as it gets. John Gotti, whether you like him or not, he put principles ahead of personalities. Lucky Luciano, principles before personalities. Not everybody has to align on something, but far too often what we do see is people who want to be this, that, and the fucking third, and they want all the accolades that go with that. And they're also willing to sacrifice their dignity, their honor and beliefs for attention, likes, views, and money. And that's not who I would ever want to be. That's not who I'm ever going to be. Being credible begins and ends with you. Your credibility is not knowing anybody. You don't need to know somebody to be credible. It begins with telling a story, giving your viewpoints, explaining both sides. And then you toss it in the fucking air and you let your audience decide. Accountability goes hand in hand with credibility. You cannot go on a platform and say, John Gotti got shook down by the Aryan Nation. What evidence do you have that supports that statement? Third, fourth, fifth hand, sixth hand information from a fucking rat is not proof. And let me just play this for you, because this is very important. If John Gotti is at a Supermax and he's on 24/7 supervision, and 1 hour a day he gets out to go exercise, take a shower, and make a call, and everywhere he goes, he's flanked by 3 agents chained from his legs to his wrists. What the fuck does he need to pay anybody protection for? What danger is there for him? It's not like he's walking up and down the tiers and playing cards. He was locked down 23/7 in a fucking can. So please, someone with a higher IQ than a fucking meth head zombie pigeon, explain that to me. And I'll take this a step fucking further. Because these imbeciles who keep saying this bullshit, what about his books? What about his commissary? Do you think the feds are not looking at his commissary? Do you think they don't monitor people's commissary accounts? I mean, they watch that shit like the fucking plague and where it comes from. So what did John Gotti do? Make payments via PayPal to the Aryan Brotherhood? Western Union. Did he send somebody to New York to fucking Illinois with a duffel bag full of cash to make a payoff? Get fucking real. And it's not even about the fucking truth of it, because who gives a fuck? It's about the surreptitious nonsense coming from people who don't fucking think logically. These are all people who have never done time, never been arrested, never been to jail in their life. They don't understand how it works. John Gotti, the most surveilled man in the fucking world, had 100 people inform against him. And you think the feds aren't watching his commissary? They're not watching every fucking move he makes? They want him to fuck up to make it more brutal for him. Like, use common fucking sense. These are the same people who will take a rat's word for everything without actually looking into the fucking case, looking at the testimony, looking at the transcript, the minutes. And if they don't do that, then they don't see the capitulation, the perjury, and the lies. And I'll say it again, accountability and credibility comes when you do fucking research. And you just simply say, here's side A, here's side B. I don't know. Do your thing. It's as simple as that. But yet people keep regurgitating this Gotti bullshit and this nonsense. Like they just don't think. They've watched Goodfellas one too many times, wear a costume and beat off to like Roadhouse. That's the way I see it. Now, number 2, and then I'll shut the fuck up. You short, fat pigeon with small hands and an oversized hydrocephalic head with Vienna sausage fingers with the IQ of a Jersey Shore reject. You are nothing but a pile of shit. And it comes with responsibility and accountability and credibility at the same time. Mob guys, are they saints? No. Are they evil people? Some, sure, absolutely. I don't think Roy DeMeo got his sainthood when he died, okay? But the thing is that I think is funny is so many of these people glorify these motherfuckers for like a year and then want to turn around and go, oh no, they're all evil scum now. Oh, that's kind of confusing to me. Nobody is disputing that men make bad decisions. Men make decisions. Men do bad things. Human nature, okay? So someone recently made a reference to me that I defend lowlives, scum, and murderers. And this is coming from someone who made up figmented relationships, someone who lied on social media, sent texts to people saying he worked and was a bookmaker for Joey Merlino and Stevie Mazzone. I think we all know who we're talking about, don't we, midget man? This person, meanwhile, made statements that I stick up for people who are fucking scum, who don't give a fuck about me. It's sad he defends people because they really don't care about him. So let's talk about that. Number 1, how would you know? What makes you so sure people don't give a fuck about me? Or is it rather that those people are talking about you and they don't like you and they refuse to go on your show and they make fun of you? Or the fact that you got chased out of South Philly by the fucking pagans. Want to talk about those things? You got a real big fucking mouth. Does everybody like me? Fuck no. There's a list a mile long of people who hate me. And for everybody that hates me, fuck you. So let's talk about this people not giving a shit about me stuff. A few years ago, this is God's honest truth, I had a rough go of it. It was during Christmas time. Times were tough. I had a breakup in a relationship. And it was very, very tough on me. There were days I wanted to jump off a fucking cliff. The stress of it all, the heartache of it all. And one of these so-called guys, you know, the fucking scumbag murderers you called him, calls me on the phone. He reaches out to me, and it was Christmas time. Guy's spending time with his kids, his siblings, whoever. But he took time to call me and says, "Are you doing all right?" I'm distressed. So I start telling him how I'm feeling about things. Keep in mind, he's with his girlfriend. He's with his fucking mom. He's with his brother, his kids, his brother's kids, everybody. And you know what he says to me? 1 second. Gets back on the phone. And he says, "I will get in my car and I will come get you. Why don't you spend Christmas with us? I don't want you alone. This is tough shit you're going through. I understand it. Let me come get you." This is a guy who's spending time with his family, was willing to get in his car in South Philly and come all the way up to New York, pick me up, or get me on a train and I'd go down there and he'd pick me up. Is that a guy who doesn't give a fuck? Is that a guy who doesn't give a fuck about me? How about all the times he checks on me from prison, including today? Never complains about his situation, never says nothing. Do you know what he says to me? It's always, "Are you doing okay? Tell me if you need anything and I'll do whatever I can from prison to help." That's somebody who doesn't give a fuck about me. And this guy, more than once, heard that there was a situation in New York with me and maybe somebody. And I get a phone call. Do you need me to come up there? Nah, everything's fine. Don't worry about it. And that's who fucking Sonny Mazzone is. That's who Stevie fucking Mazzone is. That's who Joey Merlino is. That's who Angelo Lutz is. And I don't give a fuck who knows about that. There's another guy down there who I can't mention. Calls me all the time. Do you need anything? Do you need anything? I don't care what time, day or night. You're right. They don't give a fuck about me. So if I'm not kicking back to them, what the fuck? You shriveled up little fucking fat dweeb cocksucking fuck. So I had a death in my family that was not publicized. My sister, okay? She died. I didn't tell anybody. But enough people, one or two people knew. Who was the first person that called me? Angelo Lutz. You know what he says to me? Is there anything we can do for you? How can we help you? What can we do? Do you need food? Do you need money? Do you need to come down? What is it that we can do? Then it's somebody else from Philly. Then it's somebody else from Philly. Then it's somebody else. Names you guys would come in your pants to hear who are the little mob groupies on YouTube. How about Joey? Let's talk about Joey. How many times do I talk to him? First thing out of his mouth, how's your family? Do you need anything? What can I do for you? These are not men who are scum. These are family men. These are good men. These are men who have done some bad things, paid for that thing. They've been accused of stuff, acquitted of stuff. But most of them admit to the shit they do. They've paid their debt to society. So who the fuck are you to throw a fucking murder in a motherfucker's face when you put on 6 wife beaters on your motherfucking show? How's that for fucking levity? I cannot tell you how many times these guys call me and it's all about what can we do for you? What can you do? What can we do? You are right. Is everything okay with you? And if they even sense for 3 minutes that I'm bullshitting them, I'm all right. All right. I get another call from another guy who's trying to now feel me out to make sure I am okay. It just, maybe not enough people calls this midget and asks him how the fuck he is because nobody gives a fuck. So take those stupid motherfucking thoughts that you have and stick them up your mob groupie ass because that's what the fuck you are. And if you think I will not fucking slap you, I will. 100%. Write it down, call the feds, call the police. I will slap the fucking shit out of you the day I see you. Bottom line, I've had it. Stop talking about fucking men you don't know that you never will fucking know. You don't know them. All you know is what the headlines read and the delusions that you get from a book filled with one-sided bullshit. So shut the fuck up. It's just, that's where I'm at with it. Stop saying things you don't know nothing about. And for anybody that's in my chat that does not want to believe a word I just said, go fucking to Instagram, message Joey Merlino, ask him if we're friends. You don't believe me? Message Angelo Lutz. Ask him if we are fucking friends. You don't believe me? Message Philip Narducci. Ask him if we're friends. Stop the fucking nonsense. These assholes want to be relevant so fucking bad, they'll say anything. Meanwhile, they sit in a fucking apartment mommy and daddy paid for and beat off the fucking Goodfellas, reenacting scenes from movies. That's where we've come. Anyway, I think I'm done. It just gets to the point where I don't even want to address this nonsense. I don't want to talk about this nonsense, but I've left everybody alone. But I hear Gunsmoke talking shit about me the other day, which if he keeps his nonsense up, boy, I can make things real fucking interesting for him. Knock it the fuck off. You think it's popular to bring on a little fucking pint-sized fucking Tasmanian turd, and he starts barking about me. You think it's funny, you want to join in. You're in Queens, motherfucker. I know where you live. You're not far from me. Knock it the fuck off. There's this thing called a telephone. If you got a problem, address it with me. But don't run your fucking cocksucker on a fucking show. I'm done playing games with all of you. If you don't like me, fine. Just fucking knock it off. Knock it the fuck off. Knock it off. Anyway, I apologize for that. And I'm sure that's going to get back to a lot of people. And I particularly really don't give a fuck. I'm so tired of this. Don't talk about it. Fucking be about it. Don't be a keyboard warrior. I live in the Lower East Side of Manhattan. Come on. You won't. But if you've got so much to say, why do you sit behind a screen and say it? Come say it to me. Just come say it to me. It's as simple as that. Anyway, I'm sorry. I'm done with all of that. This is pretty much... I'm going to drop the link if anybody does want to come on. We're pretty much going to do open forum tonight, but this has been bothering me for a couple of days now. And it just gets to the point where, you know, when somebody will say, oh, he doesn't know anybody. Well, it's always convenient for people. I don't care who the fuck I know. I can know the Pope's fucking deceased cat. What the fuck does that means nothing to me. It means nothing to me. Who you are, who you know is dependent on how you make yourself. I'm not perfect. I've made a lot of fucking mistakes, but I will tell you one thing is God is my witness. I'm the wrong fucking one. I'm the wrong one. So if you want to be a man to do, I offered you to fight for charity, but you ran and cowered and cried and capitulated because you won't do that because you know what I'll do to you. So then just shut the fuck up. Why do you need to go on 5 different channels running your fucking mouth? You got my email. Be a fucking man. There's the link. Come on the show. You won't. Because I'll flatten you in 3 seconds. So just shut the fuck up already. Stay in your little fucking hole in the wall. And continue to tell everybody you're better than everybody. Listen, if I came on here every day and kept telling you I'm the best there is, nobody can compete with me, what does that tell you? It tells you they have an inferiority complex. And then he picks on Tommy fucking Stiggs for no fucking reason. Oh, who's Tommy Stiggs? Well, Tommy Stiggs happens to be close friends with the guy that'll have nothing to do with you. That's what your problem is. Your fucking pussy hurts because real men want nothing to do with you, but the rats love you because you cater to them. You cater to them. So don't sit here and go on all your little platforms saying that these are horrible, despicable people when you put people that are wife beaters on your show. Because I'm going to tell you the truth, and you guys may not like this, but a man who kills another man in the streets over a beef, it is what it is. But a guy who hits a woman is a piece of shit and should be killed. That's how I see it. Everybody wants to stand up for fucking women's rights and be like, oh, no man should ever put a hand on a woman and say all of this stupid fucking character shit. But then they platform them. They platform them. How can you even put that in your mind? How can you even justify that? Next thing you know, they'll be platforming fucking kid diddlers. Billy, thank you. Ron Previty sold me a leather jacket once. So does that mean I'm not invited to Thanksgiving dinner? No, you can come over there. Carol, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Listen, it's for me, it's not about name dropping. I'm just telling you the truth. People don't like the truth. So if you don't believe me, go ask them. Go ask them. Like, that's what I don't understand. You people want to say all this crazy shit to me. Okay, I'm a liar. I'm this, I'm that. Go ask. Go ask them. That's all you got to do. That's all you got to do. But I'm just tired of it. Like, why do you need to go on 5 shows and run your fucking mouth? It's so stupid. It's childish. There's the link, Nadu. Come in here and run your fucking mouth at me. You won't, but you go on 5 other stations that'll stupidly platform you and do it. Come on. There's the link. And that, oh, wow, Bella, there, I know who this is. Oh, man, you know, the name, Twitter, now I got it. No, you're exactly right. That's all it is. The minute that I came out and said, he'll never have anything to do with you, and he won't even go on your show. You know what he told me? He says, I don't even know who that dumb motherfucker is, that fat fuck. That's exactly what Joey said to me about Nadu. He wants nothing to do with the kid. But Nadu thought he was going to weasel his way in and get an interview. It's never going to happen. It's never going to happen. And then he starts putting out negative shit about Joey. I wonder why. Yes, the Pagans is an MC. Absolutely. I don't even know if I'm human anymore. I got to be honest with you. I feel like I live in a fucking circus most days. And this is the other thing. This is between me and Nadu. Why the fuck are there 20 other people getting involved in this? There's the link. Come in here and say something. For those that don't know, I did a show with Lee Cole today. And there was a lot of haters in those comments. They said, I don't know why people are calling Jeff Canarsie a rat because he was never a criminal. I was a criminal. So you're not right there either. I am half Irish and Italian. It's the same thing over and over and over again. They have meaningless plot points. But the show on Lee's was really good. We talked about J.R. Rubio and Joey's specific trial. And Lee asked me to come on and do it. And I did because I wanted to make sure, number one, I'm the one that's got really sort of the best grip on that story because it was the trial every day. You know, and that's at the end of the day, don't talk about it. Just be about it. You know, if you got a problem, come in here and just say so. So that's just, listen, he won't do it. I offered him and I said, I told him that the deal is that all the money we'd make gets donated to charity and the loser gets off YouTube. He won't do it. He's a big tough guy with his mouth and says all kinds of despicable shit about me to people, but he just won't address it. And my whole thing is I don't feel comfortable going on a third party show and getting that person ratings by screaming at the guy. And that's just my point. You don't like me, fine. Like he said, well, if he doesn't like me, just leave me alone. I haven't uttered a word about that prick in like a week, 2 weeks. I don't say anything. I say nothing about him. And then I hear that the whole thing that, unfortunately his father passed away, and that's awful. And I'm sorry that happened. But that doesn't give you a grace period with me, especially if you're still running your fucking mouth. That's just going to get you more attention. And like you said, oh, he's jealous because, my show's better than his. Okay. That's fine. It's not, to me, it's like, it's just one of those things. This is very rare. We're hearing if you made his shit list, you've earned it. Now tuck your head and leave. Yeah. Maybe pissing you off makes him feel important because you're noticing him. Here's my thing. Normally 9 times out of 10, I wouldn't address something like that. But when you start saying despicable things about people that I know, I just have a real problem. I have a real problem with that. I'm friends with these people. It's not like I got Tiger Beat magazine and I put the pictures all over my wall and I'm fantasizing about having friendships. That's right. And Tommy's right. All people have to do is just do their own bullshit. They just have to do their own shit and leave me the fuck alone, and I'll leave them alone. Simple. You don't fuck with me, I keep it moving. But it's like 500 fucking people, 500 people, 5 fucking shows. And I keep hearing it from everybody, I can't sort it out because he's stolen my show. He's stolen my material. It's publicly noted. He's a bitch. He's a punk. He said despicable shit about me and my family behind the scenes. People sent me texts. People sent me emails. That's what I have a fucking problem with. Either be a man and come see me, or I'll come see you, or just stop. That's it. That's my only point. Just stop. And I agree with him when he says, I wish people just leave me alone. Welcome to my world, motherfucker. I've been doing this a decade. You can't take it after a fucking year? I've been doing this a decade, taking this shit. EAGLES, Eagles. I've been listening for 4+ years. This is my favorite. Your research is always on point. I wish you would stop the rants Stop the rants or do rants. I don't even really rant that much on my my podcast because people don't want to hear me rant. Jeff did a great job and I learned a lot from him today. Not afraid to admit that. Well, thank you very much, Lee Cole with James Proctor Podcast. It just gets old. That's all it is, guys. I just don't talk about people I know. Don't say, when you say you work for somebody and you're doing illegal shit, when 17 fucking guys are under indictment and you're bragging about this all over social media and sending messages saying you talking to Joey behind the scenes, like that's stupid shit. That enrages me. These guys are under indictment. Why would you even first of all, you're making it up. And second of all, he admitted there's a show, and I can put it out where he says, I never did that. And I asked the other content creator, did he tell you that? He's like, yeah, he absolutely did. He's been busted on all his lies on multiple shows. So it's just like, I just wish, do your show, leave me alone, stop fucking saying stupid shit, and like, we'll just move on with our lives. But he just doesn't want to do it. He just doesn't want to do it. Chris Gorky, if you're around and you want to come on, I am dropping the link in the chat. And if we could just move on from this, because I'm sure now this is going to open me up to being attacked from like 20 people. But here's my point, and this is what I want everybody to notice. Do you guys ever notice if one person has a beef with another person, 15 other people have to get involved in it? I don't understand that. I never have. Just stay out of it. Let me handle my business and it'll move on. Everybody pretends like they don't understand what my problem with this kid is. They act like they don't fucking know what my issue is. It's crazy to me. Angel Gotti, I am going to spank you with a spoon. You did not have to do that, Angel. Especially right now. I know things are getting ready to get really exciting in 4 days for you guys over there. Oh, Lord. Here we go. The ball buster from Philly is in the house. Maureen, how are you? How are you? Chris, I see you. Just give me 1 second. I'm trying to not stab my fucking eyes out with a penknife over here. I'm really far behind in the chat, guys. No, you're going to bring up the Mormons. Funny. Let me just down to the, oh boy, here we go. We got 2 in. Give me 1 second, guys. Hello.
What's up?
Hey, what's up, guys?
Nothing. I thought I was going to have a motherfucking aneurysm.
Another good day you're having, huh?
You know what it is? Listen, when somebody goes out of their way to do something for me, like I've told the story about what Angel did for me all those years ago. I never forgot it. Never forgot it. We could fight like cats and dogs and not talk to each other for a month, but she still knows if she texts me and needs something, you know, I'll be there. It's the same way with that guy. When I had a very hard time in my life, this is a guy who's willing to put aside Christmas stuff with his family and says, I'll come handle with you. Like, who does that?
Just all part of like what a stand-up person does, what people do. They help their friends. It's just a lot of people in South Philly, you know, they call the city brotherly love for a reason. I know that's cliche and stuff, but you know, I had friends in South Philly for a long time. My family wasn't around one Easter. They're inviting me to come over, so I wouldn't be alone and stuff. There's a lot of good-hearted people there.
Yeah, my whole thing is, first of all, and I'll just be clear about it. First of all, I don't like him anyway, but that's not a reason for me to do what I did today, right? But when he attacked Tommy, that really pissed me the fuck off. Because Tommy don't bother nobody. He's a good stand-up fucking guy. Tommy did his fucking time. Tommy don't intermingle with fucking rats. So it's like, who's Tommy Stiggs? He has 1,300. Who gives a fuck if he has 5 people listening to him? At least we know those 5 are real. You know what I mean? True.
Yeah, I've watched Stig's show and I sub to it to support him, and I don't see every show he does, but I've watched quite a few, and I've never once seen him have a bad word directed at anybody specifically. Like, he's not a bad guy. Like, he doesn't look to attack people. He just does his thing.
No, Tommy is a stand-up guy in every sense of the word. He's always been nice to me. We share a lot of friends in common. And there's no bullshit between me and Tommy. Never, ever has been, nor will be. And when I see somebody just taking a shot at somebody to pick on somebody, like, of all people to like try to pick on somebody,
that's weak.
That's beyond weak, because I'm going to tell you the truth. I have a feeling that he wouldn't say that to Tommy.
Well, yeah, no, probably. Well, my God.
Nine and a half finger Tommy would kill him.
You seen like his fighting skills, and there's not much he could do. But I don't know. I just think when people talk about the word gentleman in regards to like these topics, I think Stiggs is what you would call a gentleman. Like he's a good example. He's not a bad guy. I don't know him personally. He probably has no clue who I am, except for seeing me on the show a little bit. But he's a good guy. He's a gentleman.
I can't tell if Maureen is busting my balls here or not. I don't know.
I don't know.
Is she talking about me or the fucking Spanky?
I don't know. I don't know. Johnny Whispers here is trying to say something. Though.
Sorry, Johnny.
Oh, no. We're good. Everything's good. No, I was just saying about Tommy. It's like a lot of these new guys will come in and do the exact same opposite for views, subscribers, clicks, or whatever. Drama, lies, and everything. But, when someone does it right.
You know what I respect most about him? I envy Tommy in a lot of ways. And the reason why I do is because he doesn't need to talk about this kind of shit. He doesn't need to. He talks about, everything. He opines about everything. Unfortunately, I've stereotyped myself to the point where I'm kind of fucked, but I know that if I needed anything from Tommy, he'd help. So it's like, and listen, Tommy, when I'm down that way in North Jersey, I expect to see you. So,
why Nadeau probably won't, when you mentioned challenging him to a charity boxing contest.
Sure.
He probably won't do it regardless, but because the money's not going to him, it's going to charity.
Well, he lied about how much. He told everybody he got like $175,000 bullshit. He didn't get anything. They paid him like $7,500. And then you get taxed on it. So it's like, come on.
That's bad.
That's great. Get $7,500. Get the shit kicked out of you on national television. I give him credit for getting in the ring. But really, at the end of the day, this is not about petty jealousy. This is just about principle. Like, just stop already. Just like fucking stop. I'm so tired of it.
People today just don't have principles, unfortunately. And it comes to something else we always mention. It's just there's the hypocrisy in this mob genre stuff is just out of control. It's just out of control. And that's what it was with what you're describing, him attacking certain people, going after certain people, and then having, some little lights on his show, like that are worse, if anything. It's just pure hypocrisy.
Yeah, no, I mean, listen, I'm an old man. I don't want to fight nobody anymore. I'm old. I've been punched a lot in my life, but I don't want to fight nobody. But at the same time, there comes a point when your mouth only buys you so much leeway with people. And listen, it'll never be me. But one day, like I guarantee you, if he were to walk into that place that you and I go to, he'd be out on his head in 3 seconds.
Yeah.
And listen, I don't want to make this a whole like trash Nadeau thing, but it's just either put up or shut up. I'll drop the motherfucking link again. Come in here like a fucking man. I'll address you like a fucking man, but you're not going to do it. So if you're not going to come in here and address me like a man, then shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Or I'll come to Lancaster to your house with a megaphone at 3:30 in the morning screaming, "Hey, Nadeau, you fuck."
You'd be Muhammad Ali to Sonny Liston trying to drown him out.
How long do you think it'd be before the police showed up?
Yeah, I was just about to say that.
Instantly.
2 seconds.
I'm surprised he's starting to make comments about you and taking shots at you because he's afraid. He's clearly afraid of you. And anytime your name comes up, he just wants to run. He tries to avoid you, it seems, at all costs. So it's kind of surprising that he's starting to try and take shots at you now.
I feel like he makes comments like if someone else, like it's like on the sneak, like he'll pretend someone else is mentioning Jeff or something. Yeah,
of course.
And then gives his whole comments.
Yeah, I mean he went on Gunsmoke and said some shit, and Gunsmoke said some shit about me, which I found to be completely odd. Then it was like he was on, I think, FBS twice and ran his fucking mouth about me, and then talked about me on another show for a half an hour. And it's just the question was posed to him of, well, what's the problem? What do you think he has a problem with you for? And the person asking the question knows what the fucking problem is. And he goes, oh, I don't know. Like, he's just jealous of me. From what? What could I possibly?
Yeah, there's certainly no jealousy there.
No.
Stidge, you should come on, grab the link. You know, you're in the chat. It's nice to have like a lot of people on discussing.
And then he was like, "Oh, he doesn't have." He said, "Oh, I doubt he has 2,000 subscribers on his podcast." And then the person said, "Oh, are those big numbers?" And the look on the dude's face is like, "Yeah, those are big numbers when you're getting a certain amount of money." And he's like, "But I don't believe it. Why? Do I need to like post how many? Like, it's so stupid. Like that's jealousy. That's fucking jealousy."
And it's not about whose show is better, how many subs
No.
someone has. It's just about being honest, having integrity, telling the truth, and manning up, and like just man up in certain situations. You know, I don't know.
It was amazing to me. Fucking John Gotti was the smartest, well-dressed, shrewd boss ever in existence. Till he lied about him, till Nadu lies about him, Angel gets pissed, and then all of a sudden John Gotti becomes like the fucking worst fucking human being to ever live.
Well, that's the hypocrisy.
And that's what I mean about credibility. That's what I mean about credibility.
Credibility is lost for me with when people do that. Credibility to me is just completely out the window because it's, you know, it's you can't say one thing one day, then you get pissed off and get butthurt, and then say the exact opposite thing the next day. Yeah, it's just ridiculous.
Yeah, no. So that's why I'm going to do this one more time. I don't know. He may be running over to another station to run his mouth about me now.
He won't come on here.
But I'm going to drop the link again for him. He can come on here and I'll be polite for about 10 seconds. And then I'm going to tell him the reality of life.
He won't come on.
Hey, Jeff, I have a question for you. And this
Please,
is...
let it be let it be something other than this shit.
Oh, it definitely is. As soon as I saw this, I was like, I was going to ask Jeff. He knows a lot about the court system and everything.
Sure.
Have you been keeping up with the Sam Bankman Fried trial or any of that?
No.
They fucking let him out. They're dropping the charges, aren't they?
Or actually, I think they convict. Well, not he's been found guilty on all 7 charges.
I don't even. Who the fuck are we talking about?
He was like that crypto billionaire that he had the FTX exchange and he. Yeah,
unless it's like a fucking serial killer or a gangster, I wouldn't know what the hell's going on with
that. What this guy did was bad. He's just this total nerd. He ran this big crypto platform, and basically the whole thing went under, and he just took everybody's money, and like he did some real sleazy shit. I mean, this guy's he might even be close to a billionaire. I don't know. He's completely sleazy. But I just saw the other day, I read this, and I don't know if it's accurate, but he's a big Democrat. He donated, which is fine. He donated to like every state's top Democrats and every state's Democratic Party, and he's on trial with Democrat judges. I don't know if it's Eastern District of New York.
Wow.
And I saw something, they dropped a lot of charges. But whatever, that's not for the show.
Chris, one of the things about that as well, it's like, and they've even released this on the trial because the main, well, at least the 4-star witnesses were like part of his whole like scheme and everything. That like whenever he would give publicly, at least he would say, like he would admit publicly that he gave to Democrats, he would give equal amount to the Republican Party, but just wouldn't say anything because it's not progressive, you know. But he would, you know, like he met with the Speaker of the House, I think. What's his name? He's an older guy, but Republican.
If you're extremely rich and you know you might be in trouble at some point because you're doing something wrong, it's very smart to donate to both parties. If you could afford to donate a lot of money to both parties, that's a pretty smart thing to do. That's what Lou DeNaples did. You know, it's a good move.
That guy went from like having like $20 billion, well, you know, net worth at least.
If you're gonna steal like, all that, like the Bernie Madoffs of the world, like how much is enough? Like if you can get away with 10 million, take off. What do you need to take like 100 million, 400 million for?
Once you start a Ponzi scheme, you can't stop because then you get caught, right? I mean, you're going to get caught eventually.
I mean, ultimately, yeah. Ultimately, at the end of the day. So check this out. There was something important I wanted to say. So I was going through. Obviously, this week we're doing the Galante files, and it's such a ridiculous pain in the ass. because parts are redacted, parts aren't. But there's some very interesting stuff. I'm looking forward to doing that. I took a week off. I needed to. I was going to pull my fucking whatever's left of my fucking
you had a
hair out.
busy week. Yeah, other stuff going on too.
I was at a funeral and a wake, and you know how fun that is.
Yeah.
We could tell though, Jeff, that this has been like a really stressful.
Do what, Johnny?
I said we could tell that this week was like extremely stressful for you, man. Like
it was it was the wrong fucking week to fuck with me. Somebody very cool died, and a very young person, and you know, I'm close with her husband, and he fell apart, couldn't do anything. So I step in and pretty much take care of everything. And I didn't want to do it, but that's just what you do. Right. And then having to look out after him, and then just sort of getting fed all of this external nonsense that I don't need. It's just like, and listen, I go off and everybody's, oh, look at him talking shit. He's acting like a tough guy. I am a tough guy. And if I tell you I'm going to do something, you can ask Chris or anybody that knows me, I'm going to do it. I just want to be left alone. Like, just stop chirping or come on my show and let's have it out like men, right? Because that's the thing that's the thing. You have it out like men. Now, there is something that he said that I do want to, fuck it, I'll just say it. He said, oh, I don't understand it. The guy talks about me, but he was inviting me to a meet and greet. And why do you think I was inviting you to a meet and greet, you fuck? To get you there.
Right.
So I could teach you in person what you should say and what you shouldn't say. You didn't fall for it.
It's extremely aggravating when you have some douchebag running his mouth about you and you want to do something about this beef, about this guy, meet up with him man to man, not even for a fight, just have a man to man.
Meet with me anywhere.
And when you cannot do that because you don't want to get arrested or whatever, or he just hides out or you don't have access, that's very frustrating. Very frustrating.
Well, you know, listen, it's a maturity thing with me too. So I'm not going to be a hypocrite and sit here and say, oh, I'm the most mature motherfucker that's ever walked the fucking earth.
Right.
It's just the reality of if you're that comfortable saying it to other people, come say it to me.
Right.
Uh-oh. We got the killer in the house. Will, what's shaking, my friend?
Never took a life, buddy. Never took a life.
You know,
I almost got killed a couple times, but I never took a life.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Actually, I'm Mr. Native's attorney, and he's told me to say a couple of things on his behalf. He's just a tomato salesman.
His attorney's already called me and threatened to sue me like 3 times. So what are you gonna do?
Oh, dang it! Yeah, I figured. But it's a money grab for him. I mean, he does sports too. He just wants to make the money the fastest way. That's all he's about. You know, you stand for something. I haven't known you that long, but I know that because that's how I am, and I recognize where you're coming from. You mean we don't have a lot, but our names and our honor. And that means everything to me. It means everything to me.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, it seems like that whole old school values of, you know, I stand by my name, my handshake's a good enough deal as a written contract.
Yeah, right.
I just think to me, it's very odd. And I've yet to find, Jesus, motherfucker, go fuck yourself already with this thing. I have a hard time understanding how in one sentence you can condemn men who have already paid their debt to society and gotten out, but then on the other you're going to platform men who are still actively fucking beating on women. I don't understand the juxtaposition of how that works.
Was he condemning guys from, I know, like John Gotti probably threw under the bus?
Anybody. He said all gangsters. Anybody who's ever been in the streets is a scumbag. They prey on their own people, this, that, and the third, blah, blah, blah. But yet you're going to platform a guy who's beating on a woman currently.
Yeah, like, that really it doesn't make
as a man, I can understand, Chris, you and Will got a beef. One pulls a gun. It is what it is. But I can understand that on a visceral level. But what I cannot understand is a guy beating on a woman, and that's acceptable. Let's platform him. I don't get it.
Hypocrisy running wild. And didn't he say at one point that guy is what like a real gangster is or something like that? Yeah. The guy he's talking about.
He's a real gangster who robbed old ladies of their jewelry.
Yeah.
Well, home invasion guy. Yeah.
Didn't he just say all gangsters are scumbags or whatever? Well,
right, right. But it doesn't apply. That's why I get confused. How does it apply like on point A, but then again not on point B? I just don't understand.
Pick and choose. You're on good sides with a guy. You could do no wrong. You talk them up.
Yeah.
They're all the same. And I didn't know any mafia guys, but I knew other associations. And I didn't know Carlos Marcella, but my mother did. And he gave her an extra tip so I could get a radio on Christmas. You telling me a totally evil guy does that? Come on, man. It's just, it's a blanket, idiotic statement by someone who just doesn't know anything. Doesn't know. And it's not their fault. They really don't want to know most of it, but just shut up about it.
Yeah. Big troubles in the house. Bobby Lee. Bobby Lee is in the house. What's up, man?
How y'all doing this evening? Good to see you guys. Hey, Chris. Hey, Whispers. How y'all doing?
I'm all right. I thought I was going to have an aneurysm like 5 minutes into this thing, but I'm all right now.
You laid down a lot of truth this evening. There was a lot of things that need to be said that were said.
My brother from the South.
He's from. Wait a minute. What makes you think he's from the South?
I think
Bobby Lee.
From Florida.
Is it his gentle demeanor?
No, I remember
the redneck accent. Maybe
we had. I'm from Texas. We could tell. No, I remember we had a show with and Bobby was here as well. I think you're from Florida, right, Bobby?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, We were talking about football. I was like, "Yep."
Look out, Johnny's taking fucking notes.
No, yeah, I just remember when we were talking about football. I was talking about Bills, and then he was telling me about the Jaguars or the Dolphins or something like that. I was like, "Okay."
The Jaguars.
Yeah.
Bobby, are you a Florida State fan?
I'm a big Florida State fan, so we're very happy down here in Jacksonville right now. Between the Seminoles doing so good and then the Jaguars doing so good, so we've had a lot of rough years. I mean, it's been awful ever since the Eagles sold us Nick Foles, and that all turned to craziness. And y'all stole our Gardner Minshew, our beloved.
I don't know. I'm just a big Penn State fan, hoping if by a prayer they beat Michigan, we could maybe jump Florida State at some point or Oregon, get in the playoffs. But that's another discussion for another show.
Nope.
Yeah. Well.
I always hated Florida. I'm sorry. The Seminoles. My brother went to UVA, and the other one went to Virginia Tech. So every year it's Florida State. Back in the 90s, Florida State, UVA, going back and forth. And no, fucking can't do it, bro.
I was actually in Florida this week, and I went to a wedding in Orlando.
SPK, thank you very much. Jeff Nadouchebag is a wise guy hump. A lot of Florida people in here.
Yeah.
So what's everybody got going on since I foamed at the mouth and screamed about shit that's probably going to get 100 videos of me made, the next few days?
Not a lot with this guy.
How much money did you lose today, Chris?
I don't fucking know. My investment was for the week, dude. I don't know. I've been on the Eagles. They won. I got a little bit going on with the Bengals, who are looking pretty good here. At this point, it doesn't even matter.
Once it even got close, I said, "Fuck it, I'm going outside. I can't even watch the TV." Because if I don't watch, they win, right? So I don't watch the Penguins the other night, and they win 10-2. I watched the game. It's reversed.
All right, so here's something I want to ask, and I didn't really.
All right, finally.
Got a quick glimpse. Don't you think that hockey player didn't? I know he didn't try to kill him, but didn't it look like a cheap shot? Like
just about asked that.
Yeah.
So what's really weird about the video is you see the guy going to check Johnson, and it looks like if you watch it in slow motion, the guy he's going like Johnson's here, right? And the guy's coming across. If you go back and watch really quickly, the guy ahead of him throws his hip out. And when you throw a hip check, you will launch a motherfucker in the air. And that's exactly what happened. And his
But
leg
someone, I just saw a quick clip. Someone that watched it said that the guy didn't make contact, or did he?
Oh no, the blade went right across his neck. And for those that don't know, he was killed.
Yeah, no, I don't mean the guy hitting him with the blade. I mean the guy who hip checked him, supposedly caused him to throw his foot in the air or whatever.
Well, but it's illegal. It's a legal hit. You're allowed to throw a hip check. So
I know, but he made contact with that. Someone said that he didn't.
Oh no! You don't go from skating to point A to B and then suddenly being midair, like your whole body like that. It was Adam Johnson, who used to play for the Pittsburgh Penguins, took a skate blade across the throat and was killed in a game.
Fucking horrible, man.
Yeah, and I watched the replay and just the blood squirting all over the ice was just fucking awful, awful.
Crazy. Even the cops are supposedly looking into that. Someone said
you have to, because you have to figure out how the fuck that happened, and then what's the procedure for, or what was the procedure in place in case something like that happened, like EMS, like medics, like where the fuck are they? Because from what I understand, he basically the guy that helped him off the ice stuck his hands in his throat to try to stop the bleeding. They waited, I think, something like 14 minutes for EMS. Then as soon as they get him to the hospital, they had to start CPR. He just bled out. He just bled out. And that's not the first time that's the first time a death has happened, but not the first time that's happened. It's fucked up. I've had skate blades go across my face and just gotten lucky.
Wow.
I had a friend growing up. He loved he was a great, even down here in Florida, we have skating rinks and stuff like that. He was a great hockey player, little league. I enjoyed it and things like that. But we have some college teams and stuff down here. But anyway, I was going to ask you. I remember a while back you were talking about Angelo Quack Ruggeria's brother and some of the things he did and things like that.
Right.
If you want to touch on it, if you don't, I understand.
No, I
ended up looking into it a little bit, and it
was, he was a big
really
narcotics trafficker.
He sounded like it doesn't like he was involved, but it was a lot of interesting
had,
information regarding it. If you want to touch on it,
yeah, he was a major narcotics trafficker, and the mob wanted him. They absolutely wanted him, but
he was kind of.
He said
a little bit,
nope,
maybe possibly.
I don't want to get involved in that. I'm doing my own thing. At the same time, though, I think he was definitely kicking some money around to somebody to operate in the area, but he didn't need that shit. Mm-hmm. He didn't need it. He avoided it. He could have been a made guy like it was nothing, but the minute that he died in that plane crash, it became a race for the black book of where he can find his distributors. So, but I think even if say the plane crash doesn't happen, I don't think he's able to hide that long. I think ultimately it ends in a life without sort of sentence.
Right.
Yeah. Now, there's some people who it's not like he could have been affiliated, but some people want to do their own things at times. Sometimes life isn't always the best. Would you say there are some people that kind of have their own thing going?
Well, if we think about it in terms of like that, right? So let's think of Pablo Escobar, because we all know who he is, right? What benefit would he have to being friends with the gangsters? Because really, at the end of the day, what can they offer him that he can't get from other narco traffickers? Protection he can get. He has his hands on money. What is the mob's just going to want to take money from them? So it's like I can understand why he was kind of like, I got enough on my plate. Don't need this, But from what I understand, he's a really nice guy too. A really nice guy, but crazy.
It seems like Angelo was a very affable guy. Kind of, always hear quack talked a lot. In your opinion, did he kind of talk too much? Well, that's kind of a rabbit hole anyways. But
no, I mean, I think he did. I think anybody remotely that's familiar with that will say he probably just said stuff he shouldn't have. Mm-hmm. And that's just, some people are wired like that in the streets. Like they just like to talk and they just keep going and they don't know when to reel it back a little bit. Mm-hmm. And a lot of stuff he did say led to some indictments, but it wasn't ultimately some people like to cherry pick that and say, "Oh, he got everybody indicted with his mouth," but he really didn't. He really.
It's a tough situation.
Well, it is because look at some content creator the other day said, "Oh, well, what did they say? They were talking about the commission, and they're like, oh, John Gotti brought down the whole commission," and I'm like, how? Wasn't it Tony Ducks Corallo who gave the feds all the information?
They got inside it. They did a good job of getting inside of his
Green
Jaguar. With that. Yeah,
Right.
They did some good investigation, but
Well,
I
and that's
would
kind of
think a Jaguar riding around might be safe, but
right. So let's take that premise, and this is what I want to hear each of you guys, sort of talk about. Is you will often hear people say, John Gotti brought down the mob. He ruined the Gambino crime family. He got caught talking on tapes. He killed a boss. So, Carlo Gambino killed a boss. Albert Anastasia killed a boss. Tony Ducks got caught on tapes. He did nothing different than anybody before him. So it's amazing to me that people will use that reference against him as sort of like a negatory sort of aspect of it. It's crazy to me.
They don't know the history like you. A lot of these people, though, like I don't have any issue like killing a boss, like you said, could others do. But I do think we could have ducked a little more. Tony Ducks getting caught in his Jaguar as opposed to Gotti having all his captains show up for the social club. But it is what it is.
You know what I always find funny? In all of these wiretaps, they never catch a guy talking about getting laid. You never hear, hey, the other night this broad.
I'm sure those are out there, but they don't play that part of it.
No, but that's what I want access to. I want access to all of it. Where hey, the other night I thought I had this broad, but she had a tree trunk. You know what I mean?
How many got hit with acid, huh, Jeff? Like on The Sopranos.
Yeah. I mean, you only hear like 2% of the tapes anyway. The government is only allowed to use tapes that benefit them, but they're not going to play tapes of like J.R. Rubio screaming in jail that the aliens are landing. I don't know. That's kind of relevant to me, and I got to admit,
there are a lot of tapes out there.
Well, that wouldn't help their case. They're going to leave that part out.
No, but it would make me laugh out loud in court, which would be so worth it to me.
Yeah, but going back to the Castellano and Gotti thing, I mean, I see that Castellano was a very powerful boss. I do think he was.
Oh yeah,
he was very greedy, in the sense, and it was a very peculiar situation that the Gotti crew found themselves in.
It's a damned if you do, damned if you don't situation.
If you want to touch on it, what about the? I always heard that Castellano's daughter was married to somebody, and the Westies they seemed like the Westies had more of an affiliation with Castellano more than any of the other factions, meaning Gotti, DeMeo. Is there anything we can touch on regarding the Westie Castellano connection?
That whole agreement sort of came about because Paul Castellano wanted inroads into construction in that area to begin with. That's why Mickey Spillane ultimately was killed, because he didn't want to give up the Javits Center. And so when he aligns with the Westies, really for Paul, it's about, hey, we'll just use them to murder people and blame it on them. They'll kick up to us and we'll protect them. And so then who does he put in charge of overseeing that? Roy DeMeo, of all people. Like, how can that go wrong? You know what I mean? So
he can't even keep himself in check, let alone monitor.
Right. And I think that when he went and did that, the problem that Mickey Coonan had was that Mickey Featherstone and all the guys around him said, wait a second, you're Irish. You want to be like the Wops. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? You want to be Italian. You're like, you're not Italian, you're Irish. And that created a massive internal issue there.
I've always heard that the top, I think it was Featherstone or Spillane, that they started hanging out with mobsters, dressing the piece, and caused some conflict with the Westie organization, possibly.
Yeah, and fucking, they were supposed to get any murder that they wanted to do green lit by Castellano. It had to come from them, but as we always typically see, well, nobody will really know we did this, blah, 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 blah. And that's
It's so convoluted. The Westies and the Mayo crew, so much going on. That's a lot of insulation.
Rick
That's a scary
Jen.
time to be inside of that group at that time, I would imagine.
Yeah, thank you for the super sticker. I appreciate it. Chris, when did we talk about Jack Dragna? Oh, all right. So KXTA, see the link at the bottom of the screen, Mob Talk Radio Show at supercast.com. We do the rat files in the last couple of weeks, and we sort of unveiled a lot of stuff about Los Angeles. And that's the major reason for why LA never took off. And I'm going to direct you there. So
yeah, he just talked about that stuff. It was pretty good too. It was interesting. But
well, I'm excited to do the FBI murder shit. That's going to be fun.
What you were mentioning before you got sidetracked earlier about something with the latte, so some kind of interesting stuff you found, and then you're going to say something, but then you didn't. I don't know.
Yeah, no, it's more or less, it deals with Providence and Boston and, Bulger and Connolly and all of them guys. But what we're finding out is that the FBI knew so much more about the murders that were getting ready to happen and it did nothing about it. And to me, that's like, that should be like a get out of jail free card at that point.
Yeah, that's pretty bad. So when the Westies were with the whole Javits Center thing, and they eventually got involved with Paul, was that around the same time that they first Fat Tony Salerno was trying to work a deal with them or work something out?
Well, what it was Tony Salerno went to Mickey Spillane and said, listen, I know this is your turf, but there's a lot of money to be made here. We can use my concrete and it'll be a great thing. And he basically told Tony Salerno, fuck you. And Tony Salerno, in the process of 6 months, killed every one of them.
Right. But so when the Westies got involved with Big Paul, that was after that.
That was after that. Yeah, because they needed Mickey Cohen wanted to take out Mickey Spillane, so they wanted to do anything that they could to try to rid themselves of Spillane. But the problem in the back of their minds was, what if we go ahead and rid ourselves of Spillane because he won't deal, and then Mickey wants to get tough with us? Or he wants to get tough with us. And that's why the rub comes in. Well, we're going to let you just take over the Westies, and we're going to give you protection, and we're going to give you 12% of the rackets. And so it was an incentive for him to do it. But believe me, if push came to shove, they would have killed him just as quick. The Westies are still here in Manhattan.
You're breaking up.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah. So the Westies are still active. So
they're still around to a degree.
Yeah.
Hey Jeff, I have a question real quick.
Sure.
Did speaking of the Irish and everything, did Whitey Bulger anything? Did he have any ties to the Westies or anything in New York or any of the New York guys? No.
If anything, it would have been in the 70s when they were shipping guns to Ireland.
To the IRA?
That would have been the extent of it.
Okay.
That would have been interesting. Could you imagine the Winter Hill Gang versus the Westies?
Wow.
That would have been entertaining.
IRA stuff.
I was going to ask Jeff, do you have anything to add? I think his name was Mad Dog Sullivan. I think I've seen. He seems like a stand-up guy. I think he was involved with anything to add on him or anything.
Yeah. It's it depends whether you're talking about Sullivan or Mad Dog Call. I mean, they were both.
Not Paul from the 30s.
He's talking about the guy from Tony Salerno's hitman, Mad Dog Sullivan, I think, because isn't that who he went to for some of the hits for the Westies?
Yep. So you guys,
he seemed like a real true stand-up guy.
Yeah. So here's a question. We asked the question last week, but I had to go in early for work. Who had more power and pull, Paul Castellano, Vinny Gigante, or when Big Paul was alive? What do you guys think? Who had more power, Castellano or Gigante?
They were two juggernauts. They were right up there.
At their height, it was probably close
Gigante,
to equal, I would think.
Right up there.
So I'll tell you the difference. Vinny had pull in New York. Paul had pull in Italy. That's a big difference.
Mm-hmm.
That's a big difference. But if you move, but the thing is, and I say that with sort of like an asterisk by that, but then look at what happened with Paul and Toto Rena. And that should have told you that Paul didn't really, because like Sammy will say, oh, Paul had all this power in Italy. then why was Totorina killing people in Jersey and telling Paul go fuck himself?
Well,
That's
no one
not a
had
lot
more
of pull in
power
Italy.
than Totorina.
You know? But I think Paul was the head of the commission when he was alive. So, I mean, he ultimately had, you know, all of the power, but I think Vincent Gigante was a totally different being too. He was just quiet. Let me just go for a walk. Fuck all of you guys. Whereas Paul wanted to be noted. You know, I'm this big businessman.
Yeah, legit. Yeah.
Did they have like an official head of the commission? How you said Big Paul was? Like, I know certain people gain power, so it said they're the head of commission. But like, was that ever like a title that other families said Paul's like the head of the commission?
I doubt it. I think
kind of like just an unwritten thing.
I think it was more of a self-fulfilling statement.
Yeah,
we got 5 here. We got 5 here.
Do what?
We can do a commission. We can do a commission right now. We got 5.
Yeah, there we go. No, I think
taking?
If you go back to the days of Luciano, I think everybody understands that he was pretty much the shit. Like, nobody was going to tell him what to do. And then you get to, like, after Anastasia gets clipped, you look at Lucchese and Gambino and Genovese are now the juggernauts. They can control everything. Listen, at the end of the day, you can have all the power in the world, but if you don't have allies on the commission, then your power is null and void. That's why when Carlo gets with Tommy Lucchese, everybody starts shitting their pants because they know what's coming next.
Power couple.
Yep.
But Jeff, wasn't Bonanno and Profaci close before it? Carlo and Tommy.
Oh yeah, they were butt buddies as far as I'm concerned. Because the only reason why Bonanno did that was because he needed an ally. Because he saw the way that things were going, and Profaci was a lot like Bonanno in the sense of he wouldn't take a fucking stance. He would just kind of bemoan one thing, and when the Castelmorency War began, you know what he did? Oh, I don't want nothing to do with this.
Joe,
I just want no part.
He always kind of moved with the waves.
Always. But then behind the scenes, he's plotting with this one and with that one. And so it's, and if you look at it too, is like when Profaci died, Bonanno really absorbed most of his fucking rackets at that point. And then the Colombos eventually, you know, expand outward and stuff like that. But it's interesting to go and look at old maps and see what family controlled what turf and how that's changed over the years. Some things haven't changed, like Harlem hasn't changed, New Rochelle hasn't changed. Brooklyn, depending on the line, has changed a little bit. Manhattan has changed. Here's what's funny. Where I live, here's how it goes. If I go 2 blocks this way, that's all Genovese turf. I go 2 blocks this way, it's Gambino turf. So it's like, then I go across the water, and now we're getting into Colombo turf. Go to Queens, we're getting into Bonanno and Gambino. So it's like, it's still the same stuff. Oh, Lord. So I'm going to get I want your guys' opinion of this. Because obviously somebody heard me talking and they decided to drop me money and they want to come on.
I think you should have him on. You're mentioning about Nadeau, giving him an opportunity. I think you should probably have him on.
So I just want to state before I do this that I don't understand what I did to him. I don't understand what happened. I get it when you have somebody on your show and they say stuff, you know, listen, and this is my rule of thumb. When you have guests on, you're not responsible for the shit that comes out of their mouth unless they like keep saying like horrible, like racist shit. Then at some point, by the 3rd time they say it, all right, you just got to go.
Right.
But I don't know what I specifically did, but like multiple people told me this. It says, you got to go listen to the show. This, that, and the third. And I'm like, I don't understand because I just had a conversation with this person like weeks ago. And then all of a sudden it's like, I hear Nadeau saying this, and then the rats are in the chat saying that.
Yeah. You never had a beef with that guy.
And if, get that guy, Rob Jean, the fuck out of this room. But that guy I don't want in here.
I can't from where I'm at here.
No, I got rid of him. He's another one. That was going in saying things. And it just, that's my point. Like, I will drop the link in a minute. Let me just go through the chat. In a way, I kind of don't want to, because at what point, and I'll return your money. That's not even the issue. I'll give you your fucking money back. I just kind of get to the point where it's like, when I hear it, being said enough, like what's your plausible excuse to allow that type of behavior? There's none, especially if I've done nothing to you. So it's like, what are you gonna do?
Well, like I said, you offered it for Nadu and he didn't want to man up.
Nadu's different. Nadu is that's a totally that's
All of
beef. No, and if I go and do that, then it becomes fodder for like all of this other shit. And I just don't. It's over. It's done with. I don't give a fuck. That's it. But I will be a fair person.
But it's intellectual property stealing, right?
Yeah, but they do this shit all the time anyway. But I'll drop the link, and I'm not going to be rude. I just don't understand why this happens, because I've never been like mean to nobody except Nadu. Well, fuck him.
Mm-hmm.
He looks like an uncircumcised dick.
For him and I'd go on other shows and do stuff like you're doing, but keep strong to your roots. Don't have these rats on your fucking show. But it's cool how you're doing your thing, branching out.
What's funny is I went on Lee's show today, and listen, Lee and I have had some of the most epic battles ever, but I got a soft spot for Lee because he reminds me of a neighbor I had when I was a kid who would scream, "Get the fuck off my lawn." You know what I mean? That kind of guy. And so Lee asked me to come on his show and discuss an informant in a case, which I was glad to do. And it's like, I enjoyed doing it. I enjoyed talking about it. And then about 25 minutes after it aired, I didn't enjoy it so much anymore because I saw all the comments. And it was like brutal.
Don't look at those comments.
No, I really don't. But it was like, because I filter my comments out, like even in this chat, like I put there's a curse word box. So I type in rat and all of these curse words so people can't come in here. Like if they come in here and try to say the N word, God forbid, they won't even be able to post it. Like they immediately get booted. So, but yeah, it's been 10 years since I've like had comments like that. And it was just like, holy crap, man, these people are psychotic.
Jeff, I think it'd be a great little segment, like at the end of his show. Well, so if you can, right? Maybe in the future, just for fun, man. Like I remember those voicemails. You used to put like little snippets of like the crazy voicemails people would leave you, like I think 8 years ago or something, when you were like barely starting. People would get like really batshit crazy and like call you, and like I remember you would say like random numbers would call you. And
I could literally play a WAV file where I get this guy's phone number, right? He had been like stalking me for years, right? And like he answers, he goes, "Hello," like he's a girl because he's trying to disguise his voice. I said to him, "When the fuck are you going to stop saying this crazy shit?" And he goes. Oh, I said, "Why are you doing this shit? Nobody believes you." "Oh, just because." And then I'm like, "When are you going to stop? Like nobody's ever going to believe this." He goes from 0 to psychotic in 4 seconds, screaming he's going to fucking kill me and all out of control.
Start screaming my name.
Yeah, he says Chris Gorky, and I said to him, "Who the fuck is Chris Gorky?"
And this is before me and Jeff ever knew each other.
I had that WAV file's fucking hilarious because he's like, "Chris Gorky, you have 100 fake accounts."
Yeah, that's nuts.
In regular life,
straight out asked him, "What's your problem with me? Why are you doing this?" And he goes, "Oh, no reason. I just want to."
Then he showed up at my mother's house with a camera.
What?
Oh yeah.
Christ.
Yep.
Is he still alive?
Yeah.
Well, believe me, I've had so many thoughts of just things that I would do, but it was mainly my brother's like, "Who is this guy?" I was like, "I don't know. He's a guy I met once 20 years ago. I don't know who the fuck the guy is." Gunsmoke the Don is coming in. Everyone, please put down your pistols. Hello, Mr. Gunsmoke.
What's up, Jeff?
Oh,
hello.
Same shit, different day.
What's up, fellas?
Same shit,
What's
different
up,
day, my friend.
Listen.
So I'll listen. Go ahead.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be a dick to you. I never.
No, I know. Hey, listen. Look. Let me speak my piece here. Let me start off by saying, Jeff, I've always said to multiple people out there, I've always loved your show, especially back in the day. You've always been nice to me. I have nothing against you. But for some reason, I don't know, I guess you pissed off a lot of people around here They come on my show. They want to break your balls, and maybe I'm wrong for what do you call it? Chiming in. Maybe I shouldn't do that. I have no reason to. It's hard to avoid sometimes. But if I upset you like that, and that's not what I was looking for, But I get a clip today. You're making threats. You're going to come to Queens.
Oh no, I didn't say that.
Oh no.
First of all, let me be clear on a threat. Yeah. Okay, what I said was, if you don't want to talk about it like a man, I can't come to Queens. You can come here, and you can ask Chris. He was in the room. That's what I said.
Yeah.
Because here's my point of view. If I've done nothing wrong to you and you can't have enough fucking respect for me when you're running a fucking channel to like not let people say awful lie-filled shit and then chime in on it, then you're kind of being two-faced, bro. That's just the truth. And so I've always been a straight shooter with you. I've never fucking like dogged you out. I got my own beef with other people.
Yeah.
But my problem is that I understand you cannot control the shit that people say. I understand that. But then when you allow it and then you chime in on it, it's kind of like
the chiming in part. Look, I can't control what these guys say. I've told people before, don't fucking talk about this guy. You're going to fucking start trouble. But I can't control these guys. And these guys have been good to me. They come on my show. They help me out.
But see, you can control what comes out of your mouth.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm saying I'm wrong for that. I shouldn't have been chiming in, making fun of your avatar.
That's the only problem I have.
I've been making fun of your avatar. That's it. I know you're a little sensitive to that bullshit. I get it.
Well, I'm sensitive because I know you won't say it to me.
What do you mean I won't say it to you?
You won't say it to me.
I won't say it to you? How do you know that? I'm saying it to you right now. I make fun of your fucking avatar.
You'll say it on here, but you won't say it to me. Because
I'm saying it right now.
There's
Honolulu Jeff. They call you Honolulu Jeff because you said you're from I don't know where the fuck, Rhode Island, and then these people are telling me you're from West Virginia. What the fuck do I know, bro?
West Virginia?
Yeah, they're saying you're from West Virginia. You went to high school out there. I don't know. It's none of my business, but I don't care. I always liked you, bro.
The only point I'm getting to, and I'll just make this clear, and I've always said this, and I'll say it till I'm blue in the fucking face. I've always been honest with you, right? Yeah. Right? I don't play the tough guy role with nobody. My thing is, you cannot stop people from saying whatever the fuck they want to say. But then the second you chime in,
I'm telling you, I'm wrong for chiming in. You're right, because you've never done nothing to me. You've always been nice to me. You've always been a gentleman.
Because did we not have a conversation? I haven't repeated our conversation to nobody, and I won't. Okay? But when I hear that, it's like, you know what? I offered a job. I offered this guy a job one time. I offered to do things for him, and this is what I'm getting back because a bunch of rat-loving fucks in your chat don't like the fact that I dog rats. That's all it is. That's all it's ever been. Like that fucking cocksucker Joe Bag of dildos. That fucking jerk off. Guys like that. And that's sort of my thing. If you look in my chat, honestly, Gunsmoke, you look in my chat. Have you seen me put on one comment that says anything disparaging about anybody?
I haven't been really following the chat, but I don't really see nothing bad.
Because I won't.
Yeah.
That's me. That's my channel. But that's my fucking point is if you're going to chime in, there's going to be a response to it. That's all there is. You know me 10 years doing this. What do you think I was going to do?
Yeah.
So if people don't like me, that's their choice. They can come in and say it. Just like there's another content creator that had a rat on who told people I raped a girl. That's fucking acceptable? No. So it's like you have a responsibility to just maintain your own shit. Do whatever you want, say whatever you want. I don't give a fuck. But it's like I didn't do nothing to you.
I know you didn't. That's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm pissed.
That's why I feel bad about that part. I shouldn't be chiming in. You're right. But as far as what these guys are saying or whatever rivalry you have with them, I don't know. But what the hell? What did Rob Jean ever do to you that you hate Rob Jean so much?
I've seen him in chats running his fucking mouth about me.
About you?
Yeah, it's not just him. There's a whole bunch of them. So it's like, why do I want this guy in my fucking channel? I don't. It's that simple. Listen, I don't platform rats. I don't talk to rats. I don't do the rat nonsense.
Rob Jean's not a rat.
No. I'm just saying that's what I do. That's just me. I stay away from all of that. But my thing is, like, do you not have rats on your show?
Well, yeah, but
okay. So you have rats on my show, and the people that come in there say despicable shit about me because they support the rats. Because what is it that I do that pisses rats off?
But let's be honest. You've been friends with rats in the past too. You used to hang out with Johnny.
Okay, so here we go. This is what you want to talk about.
I'm just saying. Let's be fair.
What's fair is 2016. I talked to a rat for a couple of days. There is a difference between a couple of days 7 motherfucking years ago and you motherfuckers doing it every other fucking day. There is a huge fucking difference.
I'm not in the mafia, bro.
Then,
I really don't care what they did.
Then instead of telling the fucking truth and saying, oh, this guy beats on fucking women, you just let him come on. Are you okay with guys that beat fucking women?
No, I said on my show that guy needs to calm the fuck down. I don't know what he's thinking with that broad.
So that's my point. So you can point to hypocrisy, but I've always been honest about my past. I've always been honest about what I did in the past and the fact that I regretted it. However, there is a staunch difference, my friend, to doing it once fucking 7-8 years ago, then suing the fuck out of that prick versus doing it every other fucking day. Versus putting a guy like Frank Fiordolino on your show who threatened to go to my mother's fucking house. Where's the issue with that nonsense? And
I didn't know all that.
Well, right. Nobody ever knows about that.
Wow.
Nobody ever knows about that.
I don't know. You have these beefs with a lot of people, man. I don't know. It's hard for me to navigate this shit. And I can't control grown men, what they say, how they feel.
Listen, nobody is saying you have to control anybody, but you can control what comes the fuck out your mouth, just like I can. Absolutely. But it's just gotten to the point where there's so much fucking hypocrisy. I tried to look out for you. How many times I offer to come do shit for you? Offered you a job. I'll pay you to do this. I'll help you with that. And you return the favor by this shit? That makes you no better than the motherfucking rats you goddamn platform.
I don't know about all that, bro. I don't remember.
I do, because that's not how you fucking treat people.
I don't remember you offering me nothing. We offered to hang out with me in the Lower East Side.
Did I not offer you to give you a job editing?
Did I
not give you a job to help you edit? Said, hey, I'll hire you to edit shit?
I don't remember that. That must have been a long time ago. That must have been a long time ago, bro, because I don't remember that shit.
6 months ago. 6 months ago.
6 months ago.
6 months
I didn't
ago.
even talk to you 6 months ago.
Sure you did.
I spoke to you like a month ago. Bro, I haven't spoken to you in a year before, like
I'm talking
a month
about
or two
the
ago.
old phone. The old phone I had. Not this one. We talked before that.
No, I don't remember that, bro. I haven't spoken
you don't
to you
have
in a long
to.
time.
I'll post the text. It's that simple. If you want me to do it. I'd rather not do that. But I'm just saying you can make any argument you want, but when somebody treats you with respect and they're good to you and they listen to your problems and try to help you and you return that favor, there's no excuse for what you did. So you can't be tough with me and not understand where I'm coming from and why I'm pissed off about that. Because it's not right. It's not cool. That's your choice. If you still want to talk to me, you want to continue to like do shit, then that's fine with me. But it would be like if I came out of nowhere, Gunsmoke, and just started saying, let's pretend I said filthy shit about you. You'd be like, what the fuck? I thought me and this guy kind of had an understanding. And that's just where I stand with it. I'm just tired of it. It's like you were the last person I would ever expect that would do this. Because remember, you're the one guy that fucking never wanted to like get involved in the mud, didn't want to do the back and forth shit, wanted to stay away from shit. We had those conversations. You know what I mean? Are you there?
Yes. Can I just say something real quick? And I might be wrong about this. If I am, you guys could correct me.
Yeah,
but
sure.
Didn't somebody go to Gunsmoke's house once, which was like highly, taking it too far, and you called the guy out, whoever did go to his house?
Did I not offer to go there? Like, are you there, Gunsmoke? Hello? Can you, Chris, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
I can hear you perfect.
It sounds like static on his end. I don't know if it's what's up.
I don't know what's up with that one.
Can you hear?
He's dead.
Now we can.
Gunsmoke?
Hold on.
No habla inglés.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Yeah.
All right. No, I'm looking at the text messages that you're talking about. They're from June 2022, bro. That's not 6 months ago.
Well, okay.
But regardless, if you, I don't remember you sticking up for me with that whole shit with those assholes coming to my house. If you did, I appreciate it. You know, I really do. You've always been nice to me.
You got a very convenient memory, my friend.
I don't remember that, bro. I don't remember you even being involved with that, even telling me nothing about that. I just don't remember. It was a long time ago. But if you did, I appreciate it. That's what I'm saying.
Gunsmoke.
I'm not denying it.
I don't know you. I don't have anything against you, but I could tell you, not because I'm friends with Jeff, I could tell you 100%. I remember when people supposedly came to your house. I could tell you 100%. I specifically remember Jeff calling those people out for how bad that was and wrong.
If he did that, I'm grateful. I appreciate that. I didn't know about that. I had no idea.
It sounds like Gunsmoke's got a lot of respect for Mr. Jeff.
I've always said I like his show.
Not if he's going to chime in and say shit.
What do you mean? What? Who?
Well, I mean, he apologized.
With the owl in here.
No, that's why I said I'm going to let it. I'm going to let it the fuck go, and I could care less if anybody thinks I look weak. But people don't understand. I've been through this shit for a decade. I'm tired of it. Like everybody's got something to fucking say, and it's like when you think you're on good terms with people, and then you find out they're saying X, Y, Z. It's kind of like, what the fuck? Could I have handled it differently? Absolutely. But why should I at that point? If the same respect's not being given to me. That's just how I see it. Look, here's Mustache Skeet, the biggest loser on fucking YouTube.
Why would you say that about Mustache Pete, though? Everybody knows he's a gentleman.
This guy called me a rat in chats and called me other filthy names in chats. So please understand where the fuck I'm coming from.
But Jeff, why do you have so many enemies on here? Why? Why is that? You've been nice to me. I don't know what the problem is. I don't know.
I don't like rats.
Well, Mustache Pete's not a rat.
No, but he likes rats.
Oh my God, we're not in the mafia, bro. Who gives a fuck about rats? Why do you care so much about rats?
But okay, so it's a very interesting point. You can
nobody likes a tattletailer. Don't get me wrong. But what the fuck?
You can have your respect, right, and I can have mine, right. So why is it every time he has to go on other shows and run his fucking mouth and put his 3 cents into any issue I have with Nadu? It's none of his business. Yes or no?
We're all friends with Nadu. I mean,
then
Nadu's been nice to me too, so I have nothing bad to say about Nadu.
Right.
That's your professional rivalry with him. I don't know if it's a jealousy thing between you two. I don't know what's going on there.
Exactly. So why is that like everybody's thing? You know what I mean? So it's like there's a lot of these people I don't fucking like because I see what they say in chats. Like I'm not blind to it. I'm not immune to it.
But Rob Jean just texted me and said he's never even spoken about you. He didn't really know about you.
Well, then it's a matter of maybe somebody's got a fucking fake account with the same name. I don't know. And I don't care who doesn't fucking like me. That's not even my fucking game or my issue.
And everybody that was nice to me has my best interest in this.
Yeah.
Shit.
Hey, so Gunsmoke, really quick, I just want to say something like regarding like the rats, kind of like, well, you're not in the mob, we're not in the mob, who should care about rats? You have to understand, Jeff has close friends and family that were hurt by rats and lives with rats. You know, he has a different
fuck the rats.
Because he knows personally affected by it, even though he's not in the mob, he knows people that were personally affected and hurt by these rats in their lives. Just want to make that clear.
Yeah.
Listen, it's my perspective.
You're entitled to your perspective. I'm just asking.
Do I not always say if people want to platform them, that's their choice. That's okay. But when I see somebody go into a chat calling me a rat and then saying despicable shit about me when it's not even true, and then coming in here just a second ago and like inserting another lie that isn't true, like at some point, like people have to stop believing what everybody else says. And that's the huge fucking problem. You know, I've seen that guy Mustache Pete make disparaging comments about me for months for no reason. I don't even know the guy, but it's because everybody likes to kind of, you know, go and believe whatever they're told. And that's the problem with YouTube. And I could care less what he says at the end of the day. But if you're going to lie about me, listen, you know what it's like, Gunsmoke. Have people not lied about you?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
And you know how that makes you feel. Like, what the fuck? That's not even true. Or they distort your words.
Yeah.
So like when I see somebody like Mustache Pete go into a chat saying Canarsi's jealous and Nadu, he really has no idea the background of what the issue is. So to make these false statements and then to say disparaging things about me and slanderous things about me in another chat, it's like, what the fuck?
Well, he's saying it from his perspective because he sees Jeff doing his thing, and it's the same genre that you're in. You're doing the same type of thing.
So a perspective is completely different than saying a bold lie, a straight out and out lie that everybody repeats. And he's not once ever been like, hey, I don't know who you are. You know, what's your deal? He just listens to what everybody else says. And that's fine. He's entitled to do that. But if you're going to lie about me, I'm going to call you out. It's that simple. Just like you would do. You know I'm not for fucking everybody, Gunsmoke. I understand that. I understand I have enemies. I have enemies because I had a big mouth and I'll just say whatever the fuck I want. But it's the same thing everybody else does on here. So why is it that I bother people more than everybody else?
Look, I ignore most shit, man. That's my policy.
I do too.
I don't know why you let all these crumbs bother you, Jeff.
Honestly, if you can ask Chris, 9 times out of 10, I really don't. But with this shit with Gunsmoke was a little different. That bothered the fuck out of me. You know,
and I get it. No, when I heard about this, I'm like, he's got a point because I shouldn't be chiming in. You got a point there. I shouldn't be chiming in. These guys got their own beef with you. It is what it is. I mean,
yeah. Listen, it's like the old saying. Why would you if somebody came in here and said Gunsmoke rapes sheep? Why would I put that up on the screen?
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? And so many people fucking do that. There's people in here saying nasty shit about you right now, and I'm not going to put it on a fucking screen. I'm just not going to do it. It's stupid.
Yeah.
It's stupid, and it's disrespectful to you because I try to treat you. I will say this, as a man, I probably could have handled that differently by sending a text.
I would have appreciated that instead of coming on the show and all this shit. But, it is what it is.
I could have done that differently, but it just... You got to understand, man, where I come from, it's like, man, what the fuck? It took me by surprise.
Hey, one thing I'll say is at least Gunsmoke manned up, came on here to at least face you. You're squashing your beef and moving on. At least he had to do that. The other guy, you don't see him coming on here.
Nah. Well,
no, I don't have a beef.
At least talk it out a little bit.
Gunsmoke has nothing to gain or to lose by doing this. It's just a matter of what the hell's the problem. And I could have handled it.
I'm just making the comparison of at least he manned up to come on here as opposed to the other guy.
No, absolutely. But it's my own fault because now there's going to be 30 videos about me tomorrow, so that'll be fun.
Well, it's the entertainment business on here, It is what it is.
I don't know if I don't listen, brother. I don't know.
No biz like show biz.
I don't know if it's entertainment. I really don't.
To these people, it is. I mean, they love the drama.
It's sick and disturbing, but this is another guy who keeps trying to come in that was saying I blew black children. No, thank you. You're not coming in here. Anyway, Gunsmoke.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming on.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Thank you for being straight up, over and done with.
Yeah.
You good?
I mean, I'm good. I don't have no issues with you, bro.
All right. I'm good. So let's do each other a favor.
Yeah.
It's done. It's over with. If people want to come in the chats and say crazy shit, fine. Just don't post it. Don't even comment. Just move on from it. You understand?
No, I get it. And if these guys come on my show and break your balls, I won't chime in.
Let them. They can say whatever they want about me. That's not really. It's just, Anyway, it doesn't matter. Let's just move on from it. All right.
All right, brother. Have a good night. Later,
See you, Gunsmoke.
Yeah. So tomorrow there's going to be 50 shows about me now. You know that, right?
That individual said his piece. I don't know what the whole thing. But it sounds like he was trying to squash it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. See, look at this guy. Show on you tomorrow. See, that's what these people do. Why don't you tell me your really name? Why don't you come on the show? Don't do bigs. You got such a big fucking mouth. Come on. There's the link. Why not? Right?
Who just said what?
MTR. He just said it. Show on you tomorrow. It basically I guess he's saying he's going to do a show on me tomorrow.
The guy, I didn't know.
Good. More publicity.
I don't even know who the fucking guy is if he has a channel.
That's right. Make me famous, you prick. I just
in show business, any publicity is good. Whatever.
Yeah, listen, I don't even know.
Go on more shows. Go on more shows, things like that. But don't give the rats no respect.
Like, you think this is WWE, like 1-on-5? What are you talking about? Like, you're in the wrong group. You keep talking about Jeff. Why are you even here? Yeah, everybody's the chat is. Listen, it just comes down to like this. I could have handled it differently. I chose not to. But if you notice, and this is not like disparaging to Gunsmoke, but like
look at this.
7 trolls came in immediately. What now? What? Johnny?
Oh no! I'm sorry. I thought that abbreviation you put on there, Jeff. I apologize.
Oh,
sorry.
I
thought it was.
I'm like, here we go.
A bunch of people jumped on that got internet thug life tattooed on their stomachs.
Yeah, I don't have thug life on my stomach. That's for sure. No, I just don't, and that's the problem, right? So, all of the
tramp stamp.
yeah, all of the people that come running in here don't have any clue what's going on, and now everybody will manipulate it and turn it into something it wasn't. Amazing.
That's drama tube, mob tube drama.
Well, I'm excited because if they take videos using my face and my likeness, I get to do fun stuff like copyright strike them. I'm sorry, guys. I did not want this show to go this way. But you know, I'm at least glad from his perspective, he could admit what he did was wrong. But it's the old saying of, you give them an inch, they take a foot.
Yeah, he sounded like he was trying to apologize and just meet some common ground, possibly. I don't even know what it was all over. But
I like his memory.
Oh, so let's talk about this person that looks like a fucking
B-Dog.
Okay, it has nothing to do with criticism. It has everything to do with people saying despicable shit about me and laughing and thinking it's funny. Now, B-Dog, since you look like a dead corpse, you know, maybe you should feel a certain kind of way. I really don't give a fuck what your opinion is. But at the end of the day, it has nothing to do with criticism. It's the fact that when people go in and say you're a rapist and a pedophile and you've raped kids, you would be okay with that. So I should just let that go. You're right. It's not a big deal.
Yeah, that's a little more than
stupid
criticism.
fucking people.
That's taking it way overboard.
No, and that's
criticism.
And that's listen, and that's what they do. And they wonder why I react a certain way. And then you have people that don't understand the ramifications of what's been transpiring, and they only get one half of it, and they have no idea why somebody's upset.
That's taking it way overboard.
Like, why on God's earth was Angel Gotti upset when they took a photo of her dead brother and were making fun of him getting killed? Like, hello. You know,
I wouldn't be able to do the day-to-day things, I don't think.
This is the worst it's been in probably like 6 years.
People are so nasty, just in general. People are nasty.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. It's over and done with. We got to speak it out like men, so, you know, whatever.
Shit gets old.
We got the commission right here. Got the commission right here, baby.
Yeah. Next up, anybody else like to take a shot?
You know? I was going to ask Jeff. I'm sure you've seen. For years, I've watched the HBO special, the Mob Stories special.
Sure.
That's where I heard Tony Dell talk about the situation with Scarfo and the horse and all that. But I've always Big Dom LaFara. Anything to add on him or anything like that? He seemed like he was. I guess he was a rat, being that he's on that show, but. Was he really acclimated with Gambinos at that time or anything like that? Anything to add on him if you share?
So I have files that I'm going to be doing in the next week and a half on this. It's kind of funny you bring it up. It's like, you got a bug in my house? How do you know these things? There's some stuff I'm going to be doing. There's going to be some stuff I do.
I wish I had more time to look. I find it fascinating. You know, for years, for about the time you started doing your show, was about the time I started watching a show on A&E. It was the Mob show, and that's when I started. About the time, so, but yeah. Just find it fascinating over the
now there's going to be another documentary coming out on Netflix, I think the end of next week, called How to Be a Mob Boss.
Oh, God. It regurgitated.
Starring Michael Francis, Sammy Gravano, and Ruggiano. And I saw
is that Trevor European guy going to be?
No. This is like, I think it's almost made by the same jerk-offs who just made Get Gotti. But these are three individuals who I saw about 9 clips of it. Somebody sent me some early clips. And you have Gravano sitting there looking like he's on death's door, screaming, John Gotti ruined the mafia. John Gotti was a rat. And then you got Michael saying, I never testified against nobody. And I was the closest thing to a boss you're ever going to see. And it's like, holy shit.
How much do those guys get paid for doing going on Netflix? I'm sure it's
those guys probably
too much.
They make a lot of money, I'm sure.
I'm sure it's probably 50K to 100 up front. And then probably like a percentage back.
Wow. Oh, yeah. That's why they do it, obviously.
Oh, I'm sure they're getting paid very well for doing these. Like who is that Reggiano that was on that Get Gotti thing? I heard of this guy.
He looks like a platypus.
Yeah. It's a shame too. I think the real don't get what they deserve. They get put away, and then there's so many fakes living off of other people's work.
The best is when you say Paul Vario looks like the fucking Sun-Kissed Tuna Fish Man or whatever.
He does.
He does. When he said that, I thought about that.
You know what's funny to me? I just thought about this. It didn't dawn on me till now. How many of those fucking haters are watching my show for them to contact Gunsmoke and tell him immediately I was talking about him?
Yeah.
They sent him videos, Jeff.
I didn't even think about that. They were sending him videos.
There's always a person that you always get this.
Well, you know what? I can say that I can say we handled it like men. It's over. It's done with. We move on.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. At least he had, the guts to come on and end up. The other guy never. So many offers and nothing.
No. And
he'll just send his people in here.
Well, and that's I knew that was coming next. And I would not be surprised if in the next 10, 15 minutes another show doesn't start with somebody trashing me because I didn't like somebody in their group. That's what's gonna happen. I already know it.
Canarsie, thanks, you're a prankster.
Yeah. And that's sort of my whole point with this is that, if I don't like somebody because I've seen something that they've said about me, why does that create such a mass hysteria on another channel of, oh, he said he likes somebody that's a member of my chat. Now I'm going to attack him. Like, what's the fucking point? Why don't you mind your fucking business and understand why I'm saying what I'm saying?
They've never done nothing. They've never done nothing. They've never taken chances.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well,
believe me, they don't want to know.
Boy, this turned into a shit show, did it not?
No, you got a little drama going. It's people.
I hate it though. I hate it though.
Angles minus two.
Pay him less mind. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep doing the research you're doing. Put out the good podcast, the research. I would honestly say back up with that. If you want to go on somebody else's platform, that's great. Just keep doing what you're doing. It's I like that. I don't even know what that is. I don't as a listener that enjoys the show looking in, I don't even know what you even. I don't even. But I guess I can see how it gets. It's always easy to say that when you're not the one making the show and all that. But,
it's just it seems like there's this sort of this dog pile mentality where it's like nobody can handle anything.
Don't let him bother. Don't let him get to you so much. Keep doing what you do.
Yeah.
Doing what you do, the good mob stuff. I like talking mob. I'm a listener. I like hearing mob stuff.
Yeah,
history.
Yeah, I know. We spent 35 minutes screaming tonight.
Well,
these sucks. And who did shit in the past 5 years supposedly in the mob and ratted on the that's not even important. Now, who gives a shit? Keep doing the good stuff, the history, the way you do the 302s. I was Linda Vecchio and his files was Scott. That's what real listeners. But I don't. But I'm telling you how to do your show. And
I get your point though. I get your point. Oh,
Jerry.
yeah, that's kind of.
You're
There
all
are some listeners. There are some listeners that just enjoy the show. We want to talk mob. I don't want to hear. None of my friends. I live in Florida. None of my friends know anything about mob. I enjoy it. They don't want to talk about it. I talk about
see,
it
then
here.
the problem is then I have regrets because it's like, oh, I should have just fucking kept it moving, but whatever. It is what it is.
You had to let them on.
Yeah, don't let nobody talk no shit about you either.
Yeah, but I'll tell you what. On a side note, for all you Michigan Wolverine fans out there, fuck yous, you're cheaters, motherfuckers.
They are. Yeah.
Fucking dude wearing glasses on the sideline of another game.
Yeah.
That's
definitely
funny. We got them. I'm a big Penn State fan, Robert Lee. We're playing them next week, man. I don't have much faith in James Franklin, our coach, in big games, man, but they're cheating motherfuckers.
Michigan and Florida State?
No, Michigan, Penn State. I'm a big Penn State fan.
Michigan
playing Penn State next week. But so
You got to send us some.
What's that big echo, man?
I don't know, but I think, guys, I'm going to call it.
Yeah, I'm pretty good to go.
Just because this ended up being not what I wanted it to be.
Somebody's really echoing.
Oh,
all right,
shit, everybody left at the same time.
Nah, it's all right. It's getting
So listen, before you go, like legitimately, oh, what a disaster, huh? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm here, man.
Oh, that was a fucking disaster.
No, it's look, not everything's gonna go great. You had to let him on the show because you're offering to do. You talk about how, man up, at least come on, talk to me. So, you had to let him on the show. You did the right thing.
Oh, that I'm not worried about. Can you actually see the private chat?
Yeah, I can see it now.
So I'm gonna type something. See that?
Well, no, nothing new came up yet, but
private chat.
Oh shit! Sorry. Okay, hold on.
You see Will's comment at 10:15. See what I just wrote underneath. That's what's going to happen next.
Yeah, I mean, there's a good chance of it, but he might just. I think the other guy will say, "Hey, we settle it, let it go, it's done." Yeah. Maybe we'll see. I don't know.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm going to kick you out, and
all right, man. I'll talk to you.
All right. Anyway, guys, sorry about that. Listen, I tried to handle it the right way. Now I'm going to be attacked by everybody because not everybody can just stay out of my business, but it is what it is. Thank you to all of you who donated tonight, which will start at the top. K Goody, Jimmy Light, Carol, Billy, Angel, SPK, Sonoville 69, Rick's, Gunsmoke the Dawn, Steak Dinner. And I also got some cash apps tonight as well. Thank you guys for putting up with me. I don't like it when things go like this because I hate it. But you know what? You live, you learn, you settle your beefs, and you move on. And we'll see what happens. But thanks for tuning in, and we'll see everybody probably this week because I got something special coming for you guys. So, the over-under, CJ? Yeah, every single one of them.